This is the first Rap Radar interview
podcast. Rap Radar.
Yeah, man. Like we did this before with Paul. We did it at Shade 45.
Shout out to Paul Rosenberg, the boss.
Yeah, so
the bosses.
The biggest boss.
The boss of the bosses.
So we decided it was like, yo, Elliot, I think we on to something. People got us.
Shout out to Elliot too, man. I'm following his Instagram be popping. Like, he show everybody love though.
That's the thing. Elliot wants to be like the hip hop bulletin board.
I swear to God, I follow his Instagram. I know what's going on by following his Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram is so crazy. I follow you too.
Yeah.
But it's like he put up pictures like he'll put up a picture, 50, and I think who was 50 with the actress? What's her name again? He just was on there.
Oh, I had to stop on following Elliot.
I
forgot. It's too crazy.
I forgot what actress he put up there with 50 and the actress, and then he'll put up Beyonce and Jay. Then you never know who he gonna put up. He'll put me up. He'll put Buck up. So it's always love, man. Shout out to Elliot Wilson.
Yeah.
Rap Radar.
Absolutely. So based off the success of Paul's conversation, we was like, yo, we need to keep this going. And the person he said, we need to holler at is Tony Yayo.
Definitely, man. Shout out to Paul, man. Whole Shady Aftermath. Eminem.
Yeah.
You know what it is, man.
Absolutely. So Paul and specifically Elliot,
right?
You say, yo, let's reach out to Yayo, see what he's doing, because a lot of things have gone on this year, and G-Unit definitely, signified the comeback for you guys, and we felt like you guys, well, you specifically were the glue behind all that. So
it was hard for me, like dealing with 50, he's crazy.
Right.
Everybody knows that. 50 was crazy, and like Banks is the type, he's a laid back type of dude, so he'll just fall back from everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's like with 50 and Banks, I grew up with them.
Right.
So I look at them as brothers. You understand what I'm saying? So I was tore up when they wasn't talking. You know what I'm saying? And the last time that they did have conversation, rest in peace to Chris Lighty, was Chris Lighty funeral.
Wow.
And it was just a quick what up. But they both clash because they both act the same to me. Like Banks and 50,
But even during that turmoil with G-Unit, it seems like Tony Yayo, no matter what, is always keeping the peace or neutral with everyone. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it was all a dream for me. Like when I came home and I remember the day Fifth signed to deal with M and M was on the phone.
Right.
Like this is fucking Eminem on the phone. You know what I mean? We popped the Cristal. We got a couple of hood niggas with us there. Theo Scottomeyer's there. I mean, it was always big for me being in the studio with M. Like me and Banks had the experiences that a lot of artists wouldn't have being around M, Dre, 50. The rap juggernauts, man. It was just, you never know who's gonna pop in the studio messing with Dre. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right.
So like this year in particular, the reunion, how does that make you feel personally?
I mean, it makes me feel great, man, just to see us back together. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like 50 called me the other day, and 50 don't realize little things like that when he called me, it makes me feel good. Because I look at him as like a big brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like in my hood, he was always respected.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I still had that same amount of respect for him. Do he get me mad sometimes? Did he make me mad and make me get emotional on social networks?
Right.
Yeah, it happened. You know what I'm saying? But I love my brothers, man.
Right. Do you see 50 as the way we see 50, or do you see him as?
What do you mean?
Like,
how you see it?
I see 50 Cent as this iconic rap star from the magazines, the videos. The guy I wanted to be like back in 2002. But do you see him as just like Curtis, or the guy that you grew up with?
Him. I realize that he is he's not a regular rapper. He's a mega icon.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's just strange to see him go from 134 and God Brewer to doing movies with De Niro and Pacino.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like how big can he get?
Right.
Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I pinch myself. See, when G-Unit first came out, everything was happening so fucking fast.
Right.
Like I came home. We in the studio with M. I got a jet to get on Banks' album. His album just sold millions of records. I got a fucking condo on 25th Street. They got Sha Money and 50 got me in there. And then from there, we got the next condo in Battery Park. Now I'm in Battery Park in Manhattan.
That's crazy.
It was happening so fast. Money in my account. I got another condo after that. Banks bought his house because we got kicked out the condo.
Yeah, I heard about that.
We was making all kinds of fucking noise. You know what I mean? And it was in Battery Park. It was amazing for me. Like I come out the back of my building, I could see the Statue of Liberty. I'm straight from Southside.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck? Everything was just happening so fast, man. It was like, yo, we got to do this. And it was no time for nothing. And then, it's crazy because then the women come.
Right.
That's the, like.
Well, that's never a bad thing.
Yeah, I know it's never a bad thing. But it's like, it's so many at one time.
Right.
It gets so fucking
it's kind
overwhelming.
of overwhelming. Yeah.
It's like, damn, a new woman every week, every day, and it's so easy. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving a Mercedes-Benz now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it was just crazy,
From
man.
the Q6 to an S6.
Right. And then I remember the first thing I did when I came home, one of the first things I did was go see Jacob the jeweler. You know, everybody.
Right.
Jacob is like a fucking, you know, he's an icon in the jewelry game. You know, you see pictures of fucking Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I seen Biggie in a picture of Biggie and D-Rock and Jacob the jeweler.
Wow. I didn't know Jacob was around for a long time.
Yeah,
like
Jacob.
That.
Remember Biggie?
He used to
quoted.
shout out Tito and all those other guys.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't know he was going
But
to
Jacob the jeweler, I think people bought Jacobs because of Big.
Right.
That's the first person you heard talking about Jacob the jeweler.
Right. That's crazy.
Because, you know, we hip-hop over here.
Of course.
Like, that's another thing, too. I think, like, with G-Unit, we had so much beef. I think people, it clouded that we love hip-hop. Like, it was big for me when I had my first album, and we in the studio, it was me, and Elliot Wilson came to listen to my album.
He told me about that. He said, yo,
and that was
say
big.
Yayo, I went to Yayo's listening. I don't go to
that,
nobody.
Yeah, he don't go to nobody shit. And that was big for me. Like,
right.
yo, this is fucking Elliot Wilson. You
right.
know what I'm saying? He's somebody that cares about hip-hop.
You're definitely a student of the game.
Right. And that's the whole thing with G-Unit. I feel like sometimes a lot of the beefs, you know, overclouded the music we put out and that we originally love hip-hop.
And that's the beauty of, I think the beauty of independence is that, you know, you guys took it back to the basics and reminded people this, you know, no one's really, shrouded in beef.
Right.
It's back to the basics. It's, you know, it's just you and the guys.
I think hip-hop always transition, though. Like, I think it's going from the bounce back to, you know what I'm saying, back to where hip-hop should be for me. You know what I mean? Like, when you hear J. Cole album, they saying he's going to do astronomical numbers. He didn't have no single.
Right.
Because the traditional way of putting out records from 03 and 04 and 05, people in the office know that. That's been changed. I remember having street teams. I remember, you know, all the record stores was open. I remember when the Hit Factory was open. But now the traditional way of doing things is different. So it's like, it's cool. That's where the Beauty of Independence fits in, which is out now. And it's a good body of work. We just went to 50 House and we just worked. Man.
Right. How many records did you guys record for that?
Man, we got about 100. The next EP should be coming out, The Beast of G-Unit. I think that's even more harder than the first one.
Wow. I'm looking forward to that. Like, I think one of the highlights was Changes. That's like my favorite record on there. How did you feel about, like, 50's verse kind of ruffled some feathers. Like, how did you feel about his sentiments on the record?
You can't never think about what 50 does. He do what he do.
Right.
Just let 50 do what he do. Because 50, he's one of them, let me tell you, he's like a overthinking kind of guy. Like, I could say I never seen 50 go on vacation. Like, if we go to France or we go to Paris or we go to Dubai or Morocco, we're always working.
Is it really like an in and out sort of thing?
It's an in and out thing for him. Because he's staying in his suite. I'm in the streets of Paris. I might go to Pino Pizzeria, get me pizza, lasagna. I might go to Louis Vuitton store. Right. You're going to see me. I'm by the Eiffel Tower. You know, if I'm in France, Cannes, I'm going to walk the strip. I'm definitely not staying in my room. That's not me at all. Not when I'm in somewhere nice.
Right, absolutely. You know, you got to get that passport stamp, you know.
Of course. Amsterdam, I think Amsterdam was one of the wildest things for me.
Yeah, you said that was your favorite place to visit.
Yeah, Red Light District is amazing. Like, you go through the Red Light District, you see girls dancing in the windows, guys walking around like vampires, and it's all fucking legal. You can go get the weed, and there's zero violence there.
Word.
So it's crazy. Like, it's zero violence in Amsterdam. People don't know that.
That's crazy.
So it's crazy. Yeah, it's real crazy. You in the Red Light District, and them girls get tested every 2 days.
Wow.
So it's like a government thing. You ain't
gonna need to book a flight, man.
Yeah, you ain't gonna catch no crabs and no STDs and nothing crazy messing with them girls. They tested every 2 days by the government.
Wow.
And you can't come in the Red Light District with a camera or anything.
Damn.
It's crazy.
It's like the 90s over there. You ain't got no technology.
Yo, it's crazy. They got the Bob Marley shop. They got the greenhouse shop. Wow. Shout out to my man Arjun, King of Cannabis.
You always see the people talking about it, but I guess it's one of those things you got to experience for yourself. You know
right.
What I mean?
I think traveling is the best thing. Like, when people in other countries cherish hip hop, they don't even know fucking English.
Right.
But I done seen J. Rue the Damager on the road. I done seen who was it? What was Belle Biv DeVoe group again? What was the Boys the Men? Boys the Men, right? No, not New Edition. I mean, what was Biv had Boys the Men? What was Boys the Men, right? That was
his group.
Yeah, that was Biv group. I seen them on the road. You see dudes from like years ago in hip hop that, in the U.S., people might not be listening to what they're listening to now, but they'll appreciate it over there.
That's dope. That's the beauty of, I guess.
Yeah, I think Morocco was dope. I mean, I fell asleep. I almost had a chance to meet Nelson Mandela, but I fell asleep.
Fucking Yayo.
And I don't think they wanted 50 to bring too many people anyway. But we got a chance to go to Robbins Island, be on the going to the jail at the cell Nelson Mandela was in. It's smaller than this. That was amazing. You get a feeling when you walk in there. We got to see a lot of things in life. So, now I'm in a transition now that we older, and it's like I feel like, damn, we blessed.
Right. But you also said on that particular record that you said, like, money, let me get the quote. You said money makes problems disappear. Or, like expound on that. I think I'm getting it right. You said money and power makes problems disappear. Like, do you feel that?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that. I think finances, it doesn't make you who you are as a person, but I feel like it makes things better.
Right.
Instead of taking a bus, now you got a car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of wearing messed up sneakers, you got nice sneakers.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, everybody needs finances, or you considered a bum, I guess.
Right. And you also talked about, like, I guess the fakeness, like the fake.
Oh, of course, man. It used to be 300 homies around. You know what I'm saying?
Only 6 here tonight.
Yeah, only 6.
What happened?
You know what I mean? Because, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? You had these big entourages, and they'll be around, and they're only really around to just live the life. They're not really there for you. And later on in life, you'll realize that. You think people are there for you. They're not there for you. They want to be around the bitches, the good weed, the rapper weed. They want the industry parties with the rosé and, the bad bitches around. And that's really it.
Wow. It seems like, to me, I think throughout your whole career, loyalty has been like the common denominator when it comes to Tony Yayo. Like, even from, like, I remember on the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack, you had that, the Fake Love record.
Right. But that's like, I'm going to give you the perfect example. Trav.
Right.
That's still my man. Like, he's cool. He's all right. But when you look at that, this is the same dude that was in my house. We make grilled cheese sandwiches together. We watch TV, play video games, and then you with DJ Khaled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how the game go. Because if the dude feel like if he's not getting his check now, he got to go do what you got to do. Go do what you got to do. Even what happened with him and Fifth, people will look at it like, well, Fifth pushed him. What about when Fifth went to the hood and gave away 100 Banshees from his house, giving Black Just Son bikes from Baisley, giving niggas from 40 bikes, giving niggas from God Brew bikes. The first person that was to get a bike was Trav.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As well as other dudes in the circle too. Like Banks used to let dudes hold his Lambos and, let our friends hold our Bentleys. We're in the house. We're not doing nothing. It's just, people change, man.
Yeah.
And you live and you learn. It's the industry. You can't be mad. It's only business. 90% of this shit is business.
But when did you learn that?
I learned it when I started seeing my friends with like Rick Ross and all these other niggas. I started learning it. That, like, you can't be mad. It's a business. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
but it's hard not to catch feelings and,
You can't. You can't, because you know how this business is. You can't get emotional in anything you do. You just got to be stern and just learn it's a business.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's cool. Like, Trav, what's up? Everybody, what's up? But now they chilling with Rick Ross and them. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is.
But it almost seems like Tony Yayo even overextends himself a lot. Like, you even talked about.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Something that
thank you,
it tripped
man.
me out. Like, you paid for Max B's lawyer.
Like,
Like, what's up with that? Why did you do that?
So what happened was Max B, he wasn't really, him and French wasn't really right at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, French had the Cocaine City. A lot of people don't know Frenchie fucked with us.
Right.
Hard body like that. Like, he was in the office every other day, like, coming up there. He knew people that worked in the office. Frenchie was like family. I shot a video with French and Max B. I think it was 07. I rented a double-decker bus. I had a whole bunch of models in there. I think I had Yara Sanchez was in there. She was mad young at that time. This was years ago.
Edit.
Yeah. yeah, I should edit that. All right, so me, Max, French, we just had a good relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When they had the beef with Jewels, I really wasn't involved in that. I didn't really know what it's about. I just was a fan of the music. And I felt French was nice too. So well, let me get back to the story. So they called me and they said they needed about like $5,000 for the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So I did it. His mom's was on the phone. Me and Max B was chill. I made it happen.
But why? Like, because you didn't have to do that.
I mean, I felt like he was in a position, you know, he was looking at a lot of time. He needed the money. At that time, it was really nothing to me, like $5,000, and $5,000 is not much to me now.
Right.
So, you know, if my friend had a gym, if he's in the gym, one of my friends over here, and they need $5,000, and he looking at a murder case, I'm gonna help him. I even tried to help him get a better lawyer. My lawyer, Scott Lehman.
Right.
And that's when his lawyer attacked me in the media. Like, what does Yayo know about law? He took the bar. I said, no lawyer is supposed to go online and say, we're going to kill this bitch in cross-examination with a big cigar. I told Max, like, my lawyer, every time I get into a predicament or something, the first thing my lawyer tell me is shut the fuck up.
Right.
And I listen.
But even like you mentioned French, you even congratulate him for being on Bad Boy and things like that. But don't you feel like you were ever in a bind because you had a relationship with him prior, then he was getting at, 50 and the rest of the guys? Did you ever find yourself like in a bind?
Fifth will say stuff and won't care about it tomorrow. That man has over $100 million. So, like, his beef with French was just something that he probably wanted to do for that day.
Right.
He wasn't worried about that. So, it wasn't really that big.
Yeah. But it seems also like as if you're good at just maintaining relationships, period, though.
Yeah, right. Because I know this is the business, and I know a lot of things that 50 did affected my career. You know what I'm saying? But that's my brother. I made my bed. I lay in it. So, if we got beef with 50 niggas, I got to do what I got to do.
Right.
Back in the days, I was a fan of Fat Joe.
Right.
I listened to Jealous One's Envy. I was a fan of Pun. I wasn't a fan of not Ja Rule. Maybe not Ja Rule. You know what I'm saying? A couple of songs.
Here and there.
Yeah, but we ain't fuck with her. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, Fifth is my man. I mean, that's, who I came in the game with. And I know loyalty means a lot to me. That's just me as a person.
All right, so even like a person like Sha Money, you
Sha
got
Money.
your first house.
That's
like,
right.
How did that happen?
Sha Money helped me get my first house. I was a dude that came straight out of jail. I didn't know nothing about real estate. His baby moms turned into a real estate agent, as well as 50 baby moms. That was smart because they knew the money was coming in.
Right.
So why not get the PC off the house? See, I didn't know that. Then I
Right.
thought of it, to get the PC because 50 baby moms turned a real estate agent and so did Sha Money. So, they took me to go look at houses. We was living in Battery Park. We was about to get kicked out of the condo. But Theo saved us because he knew the owner of the building.
Right.
So shout out to Theo Scott and Maya. I always give people a props.
Right.
And basically Sha Money, Sha Money did a lot for me. I'm not gonna say we went through our stuff. He said things about me. I might have said things about him. 50 might have said things about him. He might say things about 50, but we came up together.
What's the situation like? What's going on between Sha and the unit? Like,
it's really no problem.
Okay.
That's why I said that in that rhyme. Sha Money helped me get my first
Right.
house. It's always love. Like, it ain't no problem. I don't know what him and 50 got.
Oh, okay.
That's between them, but I don't have no problem with him.
Right.
Maybe the way everything unfolded, you know what I'm saying, when things started breaking apart.
Right.
I think Sha just maybe felt a certain way about that, like, because, he felt like he was the family.
Do you feel any kind of resentment towards Dre at this point, or is it
Dr. Dre?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, Dre is an icon.
Because I know you said that
I beat a nigga up for Dre and I never got a beat.
Your beat.
Yeah,
what's that about?
It's the truth. We, like at the Vibe Awards,
Right.
I just felt like we went out for Dre. He's the man, like we would do it again maybe. You know what I'm saying? But there was a whole bunch of New York niggas popping off for Dre.
Right.
And I never got a beat.
Damn.
It was just something that I felt, it's cool.
Here's some headphones, yo.
Can I get some headphones or something? Nah, I got to wear them SMSs though. 50 in with it. We got to get them SMSs, huh?
Right. Absolutely.
Look at Jinx. Political, right? Political correct.
Get the SMSs.
Yeah. 50's just a hustler, man. You know, and like I understand me. The world, I feel like the world don't understand 50. I understand 50. He came up with no mother, no father.
Right.
You understand? I still have a mother and father. I can call my father right now.
I was going to say, taking it back to, like, just want to rewind just a little bit, talk about your origins. Is like, we know you, Tony Yayo, but I feel like as if we don't know enough about the man, Tony Yayo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you're from Queens, but where are you from exactly? Like
Southside Jamaica.
We're from the same neighborhood.
Yeah, I lived on 159.
Okay.
Banks lived, when I come out on my porch, I could see Banks. Grandmother, his moms, everybody.
So if I'm coming down God Brew,
right,
and 134,
you pass 134.
Do I make the first right?
You could make you could pass 134. You could make the right on 137 and come down and make a left, or you could come down past 137, go to 140, and make the right. If you make the right, you're gonna pass 50 block first.
Right. I know what it's
161.
Grandma's house.
Right, and then you're gonna pass 160. That's where a block I used to hang out on all the time. And then you go down to 159.
Okay. So right down the block.
My mom still live on 159.
Wow.
She don't want to move.
Wow.
She's a brave lady. Even after the house got shot up.
That whole situation.
She still don't want to move. She's
Wow.
Haitian. Haitian people is different. People don't understand. Shout out to my Haitians. They work hard. She came to this country. She been in the house for over, when I was a pup, over 30, 40 years in that crib.
Wow.
So she's like, I don't care. God is going to protect me. She put a cross up there, do a little prayer. Shout to mom.
That didn't make you nervous? Like,
Yeah, of course it make me nervous. Because, things in the industry can get crazy.
Yeah.
It can get crazy, and it's not just the artists. Some of these artists have crazy entourages. So shit can get crazy. And it's like, when my mom's crib got shot up, that really bothered me because, she wasn't there, but my niece.
Your niece was in there.
And my sister was in there. And, I think our bond got stronger after that. But, it's like, you realize, man, you just can't play games in the street. You know what I mean? Shit can get real.
Did they ever find out who did it? Or what the situation?
Well, they was trying to link, henchmen to it, but I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to never feel like I'm dry snitching on his situation. I got subpoenaed.
Wow.
And all his friends and all the hitmen he had and niggas he had to put in work and shoot up cars and shoot up my Bentleys and all that.
Recently?
Know what I mean? Nah, my Bentley got shot up.
No, I mean the subpoena.
Yeah, I got subpoenaed like probably 6 months back.
Wow.
So my lawyer, shout out to Scott Lehman, he got on it. I didn't have to go to court because you got to cooperate.
Right.
In order for you to take the stand. They don't know what the fuck you going to say up there. But it's like, through all my altercations with anybody or with him, I just keep my mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still don't even want to talk about it, but now Henchman just got another life sentence.
Yeah, just heard about that. He got
rest
guilty.
in peace to my man Lodi Mack, because everybody know the situation already, so I could talk about it. It's not like niggas dry snitching nothing. My man so-called smacked his son or whatever, and God bless my man, he got rocked to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Niggas set him up, lined him up. But what's funny about the situation is everybody that did something, when the feds come, you see who's real and who's not. Everybody told. Like, one of his co-defendants was talking about how him and Henchman was in the car. He made the statement on the first trial, and he was saying how they laid back and they was watching, they was laughing while my Bentley got shot up.
Wow.
On what was that, 125 at the mixtape awards. Rest in peace to Justo.
Right.
And I keep quiet. Like, my car did get shot up. It is what it is.
Oh, that year the mixtape was when it was at the Apollo?
Yeah, rest in peace to Justo. That
I was
the
there for
mixtape
that.
awards. Who kid sent me there? I come there and it was a Jimmy Henchman event. I'm like, what the fuck is shit was like Rikers. Shit was like Rikers Island and Sing Sing mixed together. Fucking with Who Kid, shout out to Who Kid. And we had our little words because I felt like I can't be fake. Like, Henchman came up to me and said Sock Passe. I wasn't really trying to hear it, But, everybody claimed they gangsters and, niggas is telling.
Right.
I don't tell.
No, I agree. I can respect that.
I gotta hold my water, do what I gotta do. If I made my bed, I gotta lie in it. But the whole situation was funny because, like, I looked at it like, how you gonna put in work and try to sue me? You wanna shoot? You wanna kill me? Kill me.
Gotta pick one, right?
Keep it straight. Shoot me and sue me. Just a whole bunch of stress and gray hairs over that whole situation. And until this day, I tell you, I never smacked his son.
Right.
It was just a plot to get money out of me, and of course, 50 Cent.
Right.
And that's why I kind of stay out of trouble because the lawsuit don't just come on. Right. The subpoenas and the lawsuits just don't come on my desk. They come on 50 Cent.
I remember
desk.
you used to tell me that a lot. Like, when we had previous conversations, you used to say, like, the worst thing about being famous is the lawsuits.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You can't just go out there and just feel like you want to do what you want to do to people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? L.A. Reid can't go kick a nigga in the ass. 50 can't go just beat people up.
Right.
Eminem can't beat people up. It's gonna be a lawsuit.
Right.
No, they gonna want the money. Man.
Absolutely.
I seen lawsuits over the dumbest things. I done seen 50 get sued, me.
Like, what's the dumbest thing you got sued for? Something that sticks in your mind.
Numerous things. I think the dumbest thing I got sued for was my first album. I had a girl talk on a Jagged Edge record. It was one of my friends' homegirls or whatever. And I told her, like, yo, I just want you to talk on the record. The record, my friend was like, yeah, she'll do it. Don't worry about it. And then later down the line, she sued me. She wanted a check. So I'm like, what the fuck she want to check? So, I'm hood. So, Hector's on the phone. He's like, we got this girl. She was on a song. She heard it on the radio. She wants to check. I said, man, tell that bitch I cut that bitch face, nigga. I'm straight out of chip. So my lawyer's like, we can't I'm not going to fucking tell her that. We're going to fucking give her the money. And then I got sued for, on So Seductive. I had to pay, I think, $20,000 for when I said, I can't stop thinking of the things you do. When you're freaking me and I'm freaking you. Said the ice on my neck make the shorties glare. Baby, let me fly you in my lid. I forgot what old school song. I think it was Alexander's song. I forgot.
But it's cool. For the interpolation of that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Wow.
So that was crazy. That and then the girl talking on the record was crazy. Because it was just like we in the studio and you just get a girl to talk on the record. She hears it on the radio.
Did you ever give her a check?
Yeah. Shout out to her. I seen her in a club too one time. I wanted to smack her and shit.
She asked you for
it was
a drink.
funny. It was funny because her boyfriend was cool with Clue. And I was telling Clue in the party, like, yo, they sued me, man. And Clue was looking at me like I was crazy, man.
Clue should have shot her out. Wow.
Definitely, man. Listen, man, the industry, I remember when all that Jimmy Henchman shit came back, it was kind of shameful because it was like, damn, they think I smack a kid. I remember I went to MTV and Chris Lighty had to hide me in the back. It was like, yo, we don't want him here. We don't want him here. They was like, for real.
Because you were the kid smacker.
I was the kid smacker, and it was fucked up, man, because I got 3 kids, and I'm a good father, and people, that's why Instagram is good, because they see that side of me.
It's interesting, like, you talk about Instagram, is like, I know you've been very reclusive before about social media, but now it seems like as if you embraced it. Why is that? Like,
because it's like Instagram the new block, man. It's like going on a block in the morning. Right. You know how you go to the block and go to the store, you might get your little Lucy and your bagel. Right. You know what I mean? Your little juice or whatever. You see what's going on the block. It's the same thing. I wake up in the morning. I can see what 10 of my friends are doing. What this nigga doing? What's she doing?
Right. That's funny that because I know you've always been like, apprehensive about putting your kids out there and things like that. But,
who cares? Everybody knows everything about me already. Yeah. I done flew to London and people be like, nah. They know my daughter's name. They know, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, our life is an open book. Once you decide to be a star, your life is an open book.
Absolutely.
When you walk in a restaurant, I'm used to it. When you walk in a restaurant, motherfuckers whispering and shit. It could be good. Right. It could be bad. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that. But you just got to be used to it. Right.
It's the price you pay.
It's the price you pay.
Right. Man. Now, back to Queens, that's where, we're from.
South Side,
South Side, Right. Grew up on something myself. 50, when did you and 50 meet? Do you remember exactly? Or was it just 50, one of those things
50,
where you...
50 was a legend. My block was legendary for having, big dogs like, E-Money Bags come up there, as well as Black Just. Rest in peace to both of them.
Right, of course.
I remember Black Just brought Nas to the Boulevard, to FaZe International. I'm up there doing what I do, pitching. It's like my block always been historic. Niggas, LA from Left Rack.
Of course.
Like, my era is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, my
Carl
block,
Michaels,
you would see,
that's where we used to go.
Carl Michaels, man.
The biscuits, man.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you a funny story about Carl Michaels. And it was
for those listening, Carl Michaels is a restaurant.
Yeah, they don't know. It's a Carl Michaels. They had the gas station too.
Yeah, there was a restaurant in South Jamaica, right across the street from Baisley Projects.
It be shit like this, like I seen in life. Like I remember going to Baisley. My man Oscar got the Nova, and my man Kev, Kev Brock, God bless the dead. You know what I'm saying? We pull up. So I think it was a Volvo or something like Preem had at that time. And Kev, he was a grown man. I'm still a pup. He's like, yo, if you scratch that car, I swear to God, I'm jumping out this car because the whole project's going to beat our ass. And I never knew who Preem was. But I always looked at 50 as a real G because he didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Right. He really didn't give a fuck, man. 50 don't give a fuck. 50 really, I could really say that nigga's about that life. Even if I argue with him, he's about that life. Like, he's really that. Boo Boo was on the block doing what he do, man. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was always a smart, go-getter type of dude. And, the era we come from, like, shit was real at that time, man.
I miss that restaurant.
It's real now.
It's a Dollar General now.
Yeah. Carl Michaels is my shit, man. Anybody shout to the whole Baisley Projects.
Word. Man. Absolutely. But you're, like you say, you're from the block. You're from
like 50. He was like historical on my block. He was the type of nigga. he was 12 years old. He was out on the block.
Because he's older.
Yeah, he's older. I'm 36, 50, about to be 40.
That's crazy that you're 36 because, like, in my mind, you guys been doing it so long that you forget that, you guys are relatively young.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a while.
Like,
man.
Banks tripped me out recently when I saw him in Canada for OVO Fest.
Oh, yeah, right.
And he was like, yeah, man, you know, my birthday's coming up, or, you know, I'm about to be 32 or something
like that. I think Banks just turned 32.
It's like, the fuck? 32? In my mind, I'm like, Banks is 40 plus.
Yeah, because Banks, he was like real.
Because he was like 18 when he started rapping. Yeah. I mean,
he was like, circuit. We was rapping like, I think we was rapping at 16, 17. Banks was rapping at like maybe 12. Banks is a rapper's rapper.
Right.
Like, people don't understand. Like, I just got off the phone with him and all he thinks about is lines and bars and lines and bars. He's a rapper's rapper. When I first met Banks, the first rhyme he ever said to me was he got a razor blade in his Trapper Keeper. Remember? You know how old Trapper Keepers was? Yeah. I was like, damn, this little nigga nice. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he's grown to be a man, and, you know, I put him up there. I think he's definitely, like, in my top 5 list as best rappers. Punchline King, definitely, man.
So, coming up, was it always just you, Banks, and 50? And obviously, you and 50 were close, but
we all had our own circles.
1, 3, 4 All-Stars and shit?
Yeah. We all 1, 3, 4 All-Stars. Shout to, yo, you know what's crazy? What's my man at? He locked up in the feds now. That was on that tape, and I thought he was on Queen Latifah.
Storm P.
Yeah, Storm P. I was just talking to Superstar J about him, and I remember that that freestyle he was on with me. I think it was me, 50, and him. Yeah. Shout out to Storm P. I know he in the fed. Wow. But he said some shit. I never forgot that. Said some dick so small you could fuck a mosquito. I never forgot that line, and that's when 50 he destroyed Ja Rule on that one. It's all fucked up now. That's after the stabbing and all that.
Oh, okay.
In the studio, because they didn't really do nothing. Like when we had the little brawl in the studio, I left with this right here, this scar right here,
a little scar,
and a scar right here. But it looked ill because I was bleeding. So look, I guess it looked ill. We was in the Hit Factory and we got it on.
Right.
Man. But Ja Rule, man.
Well, that's water under the bridge, right?
He's irrelevant, man. I'm not worried about Ja, man.
Word.
Ja's a funny character, man.
No, man. We'll get into that. But in terms of Queens, you know, coming up, were you always hustling, or like, did you ever have a job, Yayo?
Never had a job. Me and 50 is the streets, man. He never had a job. And like, when you look at the Ja Rule situation, like, we know the dude that robbed him.
Troy.
Like that, yeah, Troy. Hey, shout out to Troy. Shout out to you. And, you know, it's like, I never heard of a Ja Rule.
Right.
Like, when I was in the streets, like I told you, I heard of the greats. You know, Black Just, motherfucking E-Money, Troy. Right. The list goes on. Rest in peace to Steen. Like, 50 and me, we really was out there, man. Like,
when did you start hustling? At what age?
15.
15. Well, when did you start rapping? Like, at what point?
I would say like 15, 16. Because, you know, when the block is hot, we go to my man Fat Shot crib. Right on 160, shout to Fat Shot. And he had all the equipment. People don't know I DJ too.
Right. That's what I say. I know you
And
DJ.
I used to hyping up the parties with my man Shot all the time. So, like, music was always my thing. And, you know, I remember being in parties battling Freaky Ty. People wouldn't even know that.
It's funny you bring up Freaky Ty. I was about to ask you. Your ad-libs are, like, iconic. Is it because of... It reminds me of Freaky Ty.
I always was a fan of Freaky Ty. My favorite song was 2000...
3,000 problems.
I got problems.
Yeah.
You got problems.
It's actually like my favorite album.
And, like, Freaky Ty was, like... I always respected him because the nigga was the type of nigga, you see him on TV, and he'll get like $3 vans full of niggas. He had 50 niggas and put them all on a dollar van at Jamaica Avenue, and all 50 of them will come back with sneakers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't even pushing no car. He was chilling. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cheeks, but I didn't really. Cheeks was from the Rockaway side.
Right. Yeah.
We was from the South Side. So it's like when Freaky Ty and his brother J Boy come out with that radio, man, shit used to be crazy.
Wow. So, like, the ad-libs, was that just organic, or, like, how did that even come?
It was just for me doing parties with my man Fat Shot.
Oh, okay.
Because we used to do all the, you know, hole-in-the-wall joints in Queens that used to get shot up in the 90s. We was in there, man.
Q Club?
The Owl, Q Club.
We
was in there.
Oh, that's still getting shot up.
Yeah, that's still getting shot up. You know what I'm saying? But we was in all the hole-in-the-wall joints, and, you know, that's when it wasn't no Serato. There's a shootout, nigga. You got to carry like 10, 20 crates.
Right.
You gotta wait. It wasn't no Serato. Oh, Serato, nah.
So it was always DJ. What was it DJ Tony Yayo? Or?
Nah, it was my man DJ Rough Hands. I used to just go and hype up with him,
okay.
and you know, I used to like, you know, like I remember when fucking, and I think it was amazing. It taught me more about music being around a DJ because we used to go to Hot Wax on the Avenue. I used to go with him, and it was like I was heavy into the blends. Like some of my favorites: Ron G, Number 10, Grandmaster Vic, Dog Time, Ike Love. You know, I was a fan of the blends till Clue came and took over the game. We started playing exclusives. So I used to go to the Ave and go buy tapes. You know what I mean? That's how I was. And I remember when my man Fat Shot, when Unbelievable first dropped, Biggie, like my man had every record.
But at what point did you realize that you like really hone in on your craft of rapping? Like, was it 50 telling you to stop hustling, or like when did you?
I think when I started seeing 50 in Colombia, because you got to remember, like my first time ever leaving the country was with 50 Cent. We went to Cancun. He shot the Rowdy video. I think that was about 9-5.
Right.
And I remember being around Tone and being around Polk and being in the first tour I ever went on. A lot of people don't know is Nas tour, Nostradamus.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. It was like I'm on a bus with Nas, Horse, Jungle,
wow,
Wiz.
You were still hustling at this time too.
Yeah, I'm still in the streets. 50 just taking me along. You know, I'm hype manning with him. He's doing How to Rob at that point. You know what I mean? It was just ill just to be around Nas and to be around Tone and Polk, because them motherfuckers had money, bitches, everything. Like, it was just ill walking the Columbia building, because 50 was always a person that, you know, he came to the office every fucking day. I mean, shout out to Nikki Martin. I remember her. You know what I mean? And it was crazy. I think that's when I realized, you know, that's what I want to do. 50 stopped hustling. 50 was one of the biggest hustlers, man. And he just was like, man, you know what? Do this music. That's when I realized it was, you know, real.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. People don't know that we also went to the same high school.
What high school you went to?
Went to Edison.
You went to Thomas Edison?
Yeah.
There wasn't no bitches in there.
No bitches.
You got to wait to Jamaica. Shout out to Edison, though. You remember Broncatello?
Yeah. Wait,
I was around.
Really?
Broncatello was around for years, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Broncatello was our dean. That guy who was like an extra from Sopranos.
He was like a cop, Italian cop.
Yeah, he had the slick back hair, the white hair. He always wore like shiny loafers.
And Stuttering Larry. Shout out to Stuttering Larry. Get to your class. That's what they used to call him. Everybody had jokes on Stuttering Larry.
You graduated from Edison, or did you?
Nah. I never finished school, man.
Never thought about it.
Maybe I go back, get my GED or something.
Yeah.
You know,
we ain't spare time.
Yeah, I know how to read and write. I'm good, man.
You added some track. That's all you need, right?
I just feel like, you know, when at the time when I was hustling, everybody just was like, man, I'm going to the block. It was so much money coming at that time that it was like, man, I had my little North Face, my little chains and shit. Going to the block, get some new sneaker money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to be like them niggas over there. You know what I mean? Niggas coming through.
Right.
You know. From Merrick coming through with them Navigators. I always was a fan of the cars, man. You know what I mean? Navigators coming through. I remember seeing the first drop, 3 1/4. LA from Left Rack driving through that. Bob had the GS. 50 had the Land Cruiser with the Mickeys on it. And then 50 went and got the Benz. He was like 18. So that motherfucker was my hero when he got that. White Benz. Shit.
Yeah, that was definitely like a spaceship back then.
Yeah, man. I learned a lot from my hood, man. That's why I till this day, I still love 134.
You still go back from time to time?
I go back a lot. You know, it is what it is.
Right. So at one point, when after 50 got shot, did you ever think it was going to be over? Because, you know, he was gaining some momentum. And did you think that?
I thought it was over. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when 50 got shot, he didn't even want me to see him. And I always asked him, like, why you don't want me to see you when you just got shot? You know what I'm saying? All kinds of niggas, people in the hospital, grandmother. I didn't even think he wanted to see his grandma. I always asked him. He was like, because if I let you see me in that shape, it probably would have startled you from what we was going to do in the future. Because he was banged up pretty bad, shot in the face. I was seeing him like, oh, shit, I don't want no problems with this shit. That's what he probably would have thought in his mind. And I understand. He didn't want me to see him in a weak phase. And I ain't gonna front, man. 50, I learned a lot from that man.
He said that, I think I read it in an interview or saw an interview. He said that Yayo listened when there wasn't a reason to listen.
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, because I remember being in the basement. I remember being in the crib, grandma crib. We got vests, niggas playing Get Rich or Die Trying. I knew what it
Eating
was.
them cakes on a Sunday from Mrs.
I knew what it was. Like
Jackson?
people, like I remember 50 didn't even like Mini Men. That's one of the biggest hits on his record. And I'm like, yo, 50, nah, this shit's fire. Because when he came back from getting shot, you would think, motherfucker had beef with Preem. He gonna be scared as shit. He ain't gonna come back to the hood. This motherfucker come back to the hood by himself, burgundy minivan, no AC, big ass gun on him, by himself. Yo, come on, let's go. For real. I just 50 was special, man. He just They don't make people like that, man.
So when you guys, like, just to fast forward it, when you guys put out 50 Cent Is the Future, like, what was the process leading up to that particular project?
It was just everything. Fifth just always used to tell us, man, there is no plan.
And you're still selling crack at this point.
Yeah, still selling. Still, the guns was real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The guns was definitely real on the cover, and we still was hustling. And 50 used to tell us little shit, yo, don't get caught, because you for real. But he used to always tell us, there is no plan B. Damn. And to this day, I always remember that, because look how far we went listening to him. You know what I'm saying? There is no plan B. And then when shit started to take off, I just felt like, man, this shit, God's plan. Yeah. Like when we came out with that mixtape, it was God's plan. We just blessed, because ain't gonna be nobody in the world to be blessed like me.
Do you understand? I mean, maybe because you're who you are and you're in it, but do you realize what that mixtape did and how it affected others, like myself included?
Right.
Do you realize that?
Yo, man, hearing myself on the radio and people know our music, man, that shit was big. It's no high like the first time.
Right.
It's like now I'm like, all right, cool, I'm Tony Yayo. I love who I am. I've been around the world. I love my life. But it's like the beginning. That's why I said in one interview, it was more fun when I was broke.
Right.
It was more fun. It was way more fun.
Times are definitely different.
We'll go. We don't know what we're recording. We'll go record shit, Shot Money Basement, and everybody was loving it. Doing people's records over better than them, and everybody was loving it. It was fucking amazing.
It's crazy because it's like, for a person like myself, we're from the same neighborhood. Right. I was 2000. I was like 17, 18.
Right.
Going to Edison. I'm just gonna give you a scenario.
Right.
And everyone's like, yo, you got that new 50 Cent. Like, 50 Cent Is the Future was the hottest shit. Like, if you didn't have that mixtape, you was corny.
Right.
So, like, I try to tell people all the time, maybe because I'm from New York and I'm from the neighborhood, it's like, it was almost like a palpable, you could feel a buzz. Like, I haven't never felt a buzz like how it was when you guys were doing it. The records were just like, the freestyles were almost better than people's actual.
Yo, God is good, man. God is good, because I never thought we'd go as far as we was. It was like when Biggie say, I always think it was all a dream.
Right.
Like, this shit can't be believable, man.
And when you guys did those freestyles, like those records were like they're better still now than some people's actual singles.
Right. And we never knew that. We had God on our side, man. It was crazy.
And the energy that you guys had in those, like, I realize I know a lot of people freestyle to go to radio stations, kind of part of the norm now. The energy that you guys had, like, what's missing now from when people do it? It seems like as if when people go to the radio, it's almost like.
I just feel like it was a whole different time then. Like, it was just.
I think people cared.
It was just different. Like, I don't know. Hip hop to me, like, I love hip hop now. Don't get me wrong. I love all the new artists we have now. But just think about what we had at that time. Like, I remember me and Fifth going on Cash Money Rough Rider tour, opening up. Mm-hmm. Now look how far Fifth is now.
Right.
Like, I remember we had DMX, Pun, Nas, Jay. Come on, man. The list go on and on. Like, it was just, hip hop was just different at that time. Like, motherfuckers was getting extorted. You had crazy motherfuckers like Haitian Jack Tut, Scooter running around. You know what I'm saying? It was just a whole different ball game back then.
Right. Because it's still now to this day, like, who had a better freestyle, Dipset or the G Unit? Right. Like,
like the Mace, the Mace freestyle.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites. Bounce through L.A., Blue and Red Pele. Like, that was.
I was gonna ask you, what was your favorite freestyle? Like, you would go to hand to hand since the Real Rock set. Like,
I think that Mace one was one of my favorites.
Oh man.
Bounce through L.A.
Right.
Blue and Red Pele. That shit was crazy.
But even from Flex, for you guys, do you?
I think Flex, I went ham that first time. Yeah. Going hand to hand since the Real Rocks in. we was
like It's almost like even now when you play, you could feel the energy like emitting from.
Because I think flex is like any rapper's. It's a rapper's bucket list to go to flex. It's like, man, this nigga's fucking flex. Mr. C. Mr. C found fucking Biggie.
Right.
You know, these dudes broke records, broke artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, come on, man.
But even from the way you guys were during those mixtape years, like the way you formatted the song freestyle thing, that's something that still people are doing now.
Right.
Like whose idea was it? Like was it
that was Fifth?
That was all Fifth's idea.
Fifth always had that idea. Yo, let's do the song this way. Let's do it that way.
It was,
and at that time, 50 was so fucking hungry, man.
Right.
I remember when he spit 50 bars of pleasure, 50 bars of pain.
That's great.
When I'm dead and gone, niggas gonna remember my name. 50.
I love that joke. That's actually my favorite.
Just leave the hunger, man. We're gonna get it back. We got it. It's there.
Yeah, you definitely do. And you know, it shows like when you guys do the freestyles and things like that now.
Right.
But it's just like it was just a different time.
Yeah, it was a different time, man.
Without sounding like the old man waving his cane, you know, like
it was a different fucking time, man. Fucking, you got I remember when M wore the free Yayo shirt. That was
that was pretty bad. I still have mine too.
I got mine too. I got a couple of them. I got one signed by Donald Trump.
What?
Yeah, I got that in my room. I keep that. But when M wore that on Rikers Island for me, you know, shout to M, man. Like,
speaking of when you on Rikers Island, like, because there were freestyles when you were locked up. Like, were you listening to those?
Yeah, I was listening to them. I always locked into the radio. You know what I mean?
How did it make you feel? Like you was going crazy?
It made me feel like $1 million, man.
Oh, were you like?
It made me feel like $1 million. But what's crazy is when they found out who I was, they wanted to take me out of because I was in population. Motherfuckers say he was in PC, he was getting fucked up, whatever. But I was in population C73, too lower, and they found out who I was when M did the Grammy shit.
Right.
It got me like too much attention, so they wanted to put me in high profile. Because what happens was with like an artist, like or any person like in the industry, once they find out you're high profile, the jail's responsible for you. So if something happens to you, you could sue the jail.
Right.
Because you're high profile.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they wanted to put me in NICC. I ended up staying in C73. Everything was good. Shout out to everybody I was locked up with on the island or locked in.
Another question is about the freestyles and the music that you guys put out. Like the way it's delivered now. Like you had to put in effort, like as a fan, to go to the Hot Wax or 165 Flavors.
Definitely.
To the mixtape spots to buy the tapes now.
Right.
And you had to live with that for like 2 weeks. Like
right.
Now, you know, obviously with the internet, you know, even like Rap Radar, you know, you get music.
Yeah, because at that time, it was an exclusive. Like, you'll hear a fucking DJ, like, this DJ might have a record. That DJ might not have that record.
Right.
He's calling around, yo, I need this fucking, where the fuck is this? It's just like records was even more special back then.
Right.
You know what I mean? Motherfucker get an exclusive. What? Man, I need that. What?
And that's all we had to live with.
Yeah.
But do you feel like that's the reason why things are the way they used to be? I mean,
sometimes I think sometimes, yeah.
Because it's like now the fans are a little bit spoiled. Like, you know, you put out
a little bit. Shit, they'll tell you how to brush your teeth, take a shit.
Right.
You know, it's different because it's Instagram now. Like the realest thing I ever heard was Banks say, "How would it be if Biggie or Pac had an Instagram?" You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Biggie or Pac.
Right.
Had an Biggie around. I know I'd be following both of them motherfuckers. But, you know what I'm saying? But, like,
right.
Cats are spoiled now. Like,
right.
50 got an Instagram. You got dudes, Jay-Z, Diddy. You know?
Right.
Some of the biggest artists in the world have Instagrams now. You can see inside their life. But back then, it wasn't like that.
Right.
You know? Everything was exclusive. Like, oh, shit, yo. You heard that shit?
Right.
I remember hearing Who Shot You first on the phone. On
you had to live with that though. You know what I mean? It wasn't the Who Shot You remix.
You gotta find that mode. My man Fat Shy went straight to the Avenue.
Right.
Right to Hot Wax. He gonna get the bootleg one on the records if he got to. But it's like, man, listen. Who Shot You? I remember when that shit first came on the fucking radio. Everything always felt like
it was for
exclusive
the first time,
at
right.
that time. But like you said, you know, the internet is a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? I always say that. It's good things about it. And there's bad things about it.
Right.
Like, I got emotional on that shit.
Yeah.
Talking shit about
that.
Everybody. But that's just a bad day.
Right.
Because you know what it is. You could be mad at somebody, and you might throw a sub up there, and that person know that's for them because y'all just had an argument.
Right.
Like, oh, you throwing some subs? All right, I'm gonna
but
throw
you actually
sub.
interact with fans, too, so that's pretty dope.
Right. I mean, I love my fans. I think fans make artists who they are.
Right.
They wouldn't have these nice houses and nice cars if you wasn't buying their shit.
Right. I always felt like you arrived on that freestyle, 8 More Mile. Cheat Sheet, get the Yayo.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Right. I think that, like, I told Banks when he did Banks Victory, that was like his breakout moment.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And I
Sliding
think
through the ruckers, Prada on the chuckers.
That shit had people in a frenzy. But I think when you did 8 More Mile freestyle, well, yeah, that one for you was your breakout moment.
Yeah, man. It was crazy at that time, man.
Right.
We was moving around like Bobby Smurda and them.
Yeah.
It was crazy at that time.
It's kind of crazy for him right now too.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them. Hopefully,
hopefully the situation gets better. Then you released your debut album, Thoughts of a Predicate. I think that was kind of underrated.
Yeah, I think it was too. But like I said, it was so much going on. Like at that time, 50 dropped his album right after. I think it was the movie soundtrack that they had slated. Interscope is not gonna stop that for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the same time, then I think we signed on Mace.
Yeah.
At that same time,
These guys were signing everybody.
Mace was trying to take some of my shine on that red carpet at MTV, man. So now everybody, my album's dropping, but everybody's talking about Mace at the same time too. Mace is a big artist, rhyme with Biggie Smalls, and
right
at that point right there.
And the second album never came. You remember you said you was gonna name it?
Yeah,
I'm 50's Tax Write-Off.
Yeah, I was. I was.
I tell people that all the time. I say you were gonna name your album I'm 50.
50, man. 50 gave me a lot of money, man. It's all good. That's why I was gonna name it that. But what's crazy is I got advance for the second album, and then so much shit started happening with Interscope, and then they wanted me and Banks to sign 360 deals. It was like a whole different thing. Cause remember we was in the game before 360 deal was even invented.
Right.
I think the 360 deal came from 50. Because, Jimmy and him was smart enough to think of the idea.
They said Leora Cohen kind of thought of that idea. He's like the pioneer, but it possibly could.
I think it came from 50 because you seen all the success that he had from other things that he wasn't, him, Jimmy Iovine wasn't really included in. Like G-Unit Clothing was, that was an Echo thing. And then the Reebok thing, you know what I'm saying? And then Vitamin Water, that just topped everything. And, like I said, 50 got that mentality, never had a mother, never had a father. So he got to hustle extra hard.
Extra hard. Absolutely, especially if you're black.
Man, you should have seen his basement. His room was just like.
I've been there. It had the stickers.
His room had the stickers on the wall. That shit was like this small. Like, damn, motherfucker.
That shit was like a dungeon. And it was small. It was musty. I was like, yo, you guys really were out down here?
Yo, man, for real. Shout out to his grandmother and rest in peace, though, man. And his grandfather's. I think 50 gets some of his fucking mouth from his grandfather, man. I remember his father. I was actually, because I was on a run for everything. That was crazy. Like, before I got arrested at Coco Cabana, everybody thought I took the gun charges initially for 50 and everybody. And I had a gun charge already.
Wow.
So when I was in Barcelona and all these places on BET, MTV, I was on a run.
With the fake passport?
With the fake passport, everything.
Did you ever guys fire Sheena for that?
Nah, Sheena had her own differences after that. I forgave her after that. She was cool.
How you forgive? Yo has a good heart.
Because it was a stupid mistake, and I knew I was going to get out of
jail.
Yeah. Sent me right to the feds, man. But it's cool, man.
Oh, man.
Had the passport. I never forgot that day. My PO was like, I said, nah, it's just a passport. I got my brother's name on it. He said, but it has the wrong name. This is illegal. And then after 9/11,
they cracked down on that.
Stupid ass terrorists, the feds made the procedure of having a fake passport federal.
Right.
So I had to go to MDC and do that time real quick. I was tight.
Wasn't doing a Yayo dance in that motherfucker.
No, I got a good memory. I remember being in the car, and this is what had me real tight, nigga. I'm handcuffed. And I fucking hear that, she want to rock and roll with you, tear the club up, and still want to run with the road with you. How you picture me and you? I was tight. The Joe song?
Yeah.
I'm in the car like.
So you hearing your
I just used to think I had the bad luck of the world. Bro.
Oh, my goodness. You said that Yayo dance came from 50 Cent?
Me and Marquise, we was playing around in the crib, did that shit.
Do you get residuals from John Cena from doing that?
Well, I should, right?
I'm just asking.
I was thinking about that. He owed me some money, maybe. I seen him holler at me. I have to look into that.
I'm just saying. Hey, listen.
Yeah, but me and Marquise, because it was crazy, man. Like, I used to actually live in the Poconos with Fifth.
Oh.
It was boring as fuck out there. Boring as fuck. It wasn't nothing but bears, woods.
Right.
50 would go to the gym, right? I'd just be on the couch, man.
I mean, it's no 134.
Yeah. Word. It was crazy. Definitely. Poconos. Shout out to Marquise. That's my little guy, man.
That's what it is. And, since then you put out a lot of mixtapes. And, you're still continuing to have sustain your relevancy throughout this time.
Yo, listen. When you go to your neighborhood and you see motherfuckers doing the same thing they was doing 20 years ago, 30 years ago when we 17, 16, and you on another level and you flying the world. Like I go to France tomorrow.
Right.
Me and Banks, we go to France tomorrow. Like, man, we blessed, man.
Wow. I remember one time, and just to wrap things up, I remember you said, you know, when you said you was watching Hannah Montana one time, you said things not fun anymore.
Yeah, I was watching. She was saying if you're not having fun with it no more, then don't do it.
Right.
You got to think about the good times. I remember going to Paul Rosenberg wedding, because you know that's a big guy.
Right.
And I remember he had, what's the DJ? DJ AM.
DJ AM probably.
DJ AM. He passed away, right?
DJ AM.
I remember coming on the turntables to fuck with him, like, yo, let me get on, man. I didn't know who he was at that point. Yo, let me get on. And I remember Paul, tell him this. He tapped me. He said, yo, you know how much I paid this motherfucker? And it was DJ AM, and I didn't realize it. I remember going to Eminem's wedding. Wow. And it was like 7 helicopters over his
Helicopters?
Shit. Crazy. It was crazy. Like, paparazzi had the super shit. I was like, oh, fuck. Like, it was just crazy, man. The experiences we had being around the big dogs, being in the studio with Dre. There would never be no beef with Dre. These guys are icons. Right. You know? And it was like, I remember being in the studio with him, and he pull out this weed called a Guido. We smoked that shit, man. First LA weed. Never smoked LA weed. Never been in LA. Then Fat Burgers was coming to the studio. Just crazy. Then, you know, Snoop is in the studio. Busta's in the studio. All kinds. You never know who gonna be in it. Chris Rock might be in that motherfucker next. Stevie Wonder. Wow. But I think my illest experience was when we went to Jimmy Iovine house across the street from the Playboy Mansion.
He lives across the street from the Playboy Mansion? Yes. The fuck? That's a whole nother kind of money.
Yes.
What kind of like tax form is that?
Yeah, I don't even know. And what the amazing thing was about it is like he had like fucking dudes in suits with dogs running around the compound. It was like he had fucking armed security. Right. Fucking go in his fucking kitchen, the table was spinning. Fucking servants bringing food. Movie theater with suede walls, candy store in the movie theater. It was just like
a candy store in his.
Yeah, Jimmy Iovine house was probably one of the illest shits I've seen in my life.
What's funny is it was like even you've been in the game for like 10 years now.
Right.
You still seem as if you're fascinated, like you're not jaded by this shit yet.
Nah,
like, it's like
I'm still fascinated, man. I feel like I got lucky. Sometimes I don't even feel like I'll be like, damn, what the fuck is this nigga looking at? And I'll be like, damn, you forgot who you are? That shit happens to me a lot because I feel like, you know, me coming out of jail, coming straight home and everything, it just was like a blessing. It was a lot. Right. Then I went from 3 condos to buying houses. Like, you know, my kids go good to schools. I got a nice home, you know what I'm saying? Waking up to marble and granite. Like, what the fuck? Right. Sprinklers coming out the ground. You know, my mom's yard is nowhere near where my yard is. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it was just all a dream, man. And then Eminem and Dr. Dre on top of that and 50 Cent. Wow. Like, come on, that's the 3-headed monster. Shout out to Paulie, too.
So, how is it that you're still grounded by this shit? Like, why are you not, like, I guess, jaded by these things? Like, is it the people that you're around?
I think it's just me, man. I'm just a genuine person. Right. And, like, when people, like, run up on me, like, yo, I bought this album, that album, I love it. Like, I'm like, yo, this shit was all a dream. I remember being on 134, me, 50, Banks, not thinking we was gonna make it, man. Because a lot of people didn't make it, man. A lot of people's dead or in jail. So it's just blessings, man. Right.
Speaking of that, like, how did the death of Fox affect you, Maserati Fox?
Oh man, that was fucked up. But you know, a wise man once told me that the hood is like fucking with a rattlesnake. You know what I mean? It'll bite you once, bite you twice, man. That third time, you just better be careful. I mean, you know, niggas did him dirty. Killed him on a cold day. Killed him in the snow, middle of a blizzard. I don't even think Fox should have been outside that day because that was a day. But, you know, it was obviously a hit of somebody that didn't like him. You know, when you have problems in the streets or you in the limelight, that's just like everyday shit, man. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, Yayo still having fun then.
That's just like when you look at the Mike Brown and Eric Gardner situation.
I'm glad you brought that up because I know you've been very vocal on Instagram and things like that about that situation. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I wanted to go to the march the other day, but honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. I had my kids. I ain't had no babysitter, so I gotta do what I gotta do. But I feel like it's fucked up. I feel like police been abusing us and been fucking people up, and it's not a color thing. Cause I'm happy to see, you know, all kinds of people at these marches. You got black people, you got Chinese, you got Asian, you got Spanish. Because I feel like everybody gets harassed by the police. Even a white guy might get harassed.
Right.
Or a Spanish guy might get harassed. Like, a lot of people don't know. It's like, I just feel like now we got camera phones where people can actually see the shit. Where your iPhone is better than a basic camera, like that. It's like a Mach 6 or Mach 7. You know what I mean? Because there's stories of people getting killed and beaten up by police that we don't even know. Like, people don't know about Kenny Laza. You know about Kenny Laza?
No.
Long Island. Got beat to death with flashlights.
Wow. Didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, because people don't know.
Right.
Because I live in Long Island. So I know about Kenny Laza. Spanish brother. You know what I'm saying? Got beat to death with flashlights. Sean Bell. No gun in the car. Killed before right there in our hood. You know what I'm saying? And and the Mike Brown shit and the Eric Gardner shit is crazy.
Right.
But you know how these police is. If you 6'3", 300 pounds, 6'2", 250, these police will kill you, man. So your best bet is, hey, bro, all my homies out there, every people out there, just don't resist, man. Let them fucking arrest you, I guess. Just do the day or two.
And these are the thoughts of a predicate felon.
Yeah, just let them fucking arrest you. It's better for them to arrest you than to kill you.
But you're not like a cop hater or like one of those people?
Yeah, I'm a cop.
You're a cop hater?
Yeah, I don't like
you don't like the police? Yeah, yo.
I never met a good cop, man. Nah, I can't say I hate all cops.
Right.
Because, there's cops that want to take pictures. There's people, moms could be a cop. Your aunt could be a cop.
I got family members as law enforcement friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I can't say every cop is bad. But right now, the law enforcement's not looking good, man.
Wow. So, but you definitely wanted to go to the march and like show.
Yeah,
I mean, you've been showing your. I've been noticing like Yayo is definitely showing solidarity.
I got kids,
on
man.
Instagram.
One of my sons is 16.
Wow.
And my youngest is 6, and my daughter's 11. So what is their future gonna look like? You know what I'm saying? Wow. They live out the hood. When you live out the hood, that shit doesn't happen.
Right.
In the hood, that shit is the only way it happens. When you move out the hood, liquor store closed at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Right.
You in the hood, liquor closes.
The one on Sufton stays open till 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's a difference between being in the hood and out the hood, man. Right. It's a catch-22 to everything. But shit like that don't happen in the hood. And out the hood, it don't. You know what I mean? So rest in peace, Eric Gardner, Mike Brown. It's a terrible situation, but let's not resist no more. Just let them lock us up for the day or two. They could lock me up. I don't care. Day or two. And it's cool.
Right.
Even if you got to do a week, just let them lock you up.
A week, huh? Fuck.
But, these police get crazy, man. Yeah, a week might be too.
It might be too crazy.
Too many bologna sandwiches. That one day in the central bookings, you be like, damn. For real, that should be too much, man.
Word, but I guess we'll end on a positive note. But Yayo, you're still having fun.
Definitely, man. And shout to Rap Radar, shout to Paul Rosenberg, Elliot Wilson, my man Dot.
Yes,
that's my guy. We always gonna have good interviews. I'm gonna keep it real.
Absolutely.
That's why everybody want to interview me, because I'm gonna tell them everything.
And you were a great first interview. I think this was pretty good.
I'm not holding back nothing. Oh, this for the 215?
Might be Christmas special. I don't know.
Right,
you might make it a Christmas, but you did definitely the first official one. Paul was the opening act.
Man, Paulie, shout out to the boss of the bosses, Paulie.